So I've just completed week 7 of 13 weeks in ARC 2, and I don't know if I'm actually improving. I'm winning in poker, but my hourly just went from $49 an hour to $40 an hour after winning only $95 in 35 hours this week. So it just goes to show you how quickly poker hourlies can fluctuate week over week. As far as baseball goes, I've shifted my whole workout routine from more of a powerlifting and bodybuilding focus to one that's more about explosive movements, especially using the hips and the torso. Here's me doing some deadlifts with 295 pounds. The weight moved pretty quickly, and I'm definitely going to be going up to 305 this next coming week. And I'm starting to get back into sort of my normal strength areas. I've done a whole bunch of throwing drills over the past couple weeks, and my throwing distance this week was the same as last week, which means I haven't improved, unfortunately. And for YouTube, on both this channel and my baseball YouTube channel, I post consistently, but I feel like I've hit a wall. From last July until about February, I got about 600 subscribers on my baseball channel, and in the past couple months, I've barely gotten any. Some of my videos have gotten 1,000 views, but then other ones have gotten less than 100. And a lot of the time, I'll make a video that I think is going to do really well, that I put a lot of time and effort into, only to have it do little to no views and no subscribers. And so the same thing is happening with this Jeff Ascends channel, where I'll make a video that I think is going to do really good. It's an interesting topic to me. I feel like other people might watch it, and it gets 6 views or 8 views. And it doesn't, for some reason, it doesn't seem to matter whether I'm doing a lot of study. Like, I'll watch a whole bunch of videos by Think Media, by all these YouTubers that have, millions of subscribers giving advice, and I'll try to follow that advice to a T, and I'll get no views on the next video, 8 views, whatever it is. And then once in a while, I'll get 100 views, 200 views, 300 views, and you get told to double down and make another video like that, and then the next video just does another 8 views. So I'm really struggling to figure out how to actually do this stuff more consistently, how to actually make better baseball videos, how to actually make better videos for this channel and actually have people watching them. And it's been kind of tough. On my baseball channel, one of my worst performing videos is one that I spent like 30 hours on, and it still has less than 100 views several months later. And it feels like uncharted territory because I'm used to getting really good at things. In poker, I'm in the top 99.9% of players. I'm on a bunch of the leaderboards. There's this site called SharkScope where they show you who ranks for what site. And for a lot of the categories, I'm in the top 10. Some of them, I'll have multiple poker accounts in the top 10 in terms of profits and all this kind of things. And in chess, the same thing. Like, my highest chess rating is in the top 1% to 2%. In baseball, a few years ago, I worked on my swing and I led the league the next year in home runs, RBIs, and batting average, winning the Triple Crown. So, and I set some offensive records that since the league switched to wood bats is like, some of them are the all-time highs, meaning the top 1% of performance. And so that's what's kind of confusing me is I know how to get good at things. I know how to get really good at things, but for some reason, pitching and for some reason, YouTube, it's just not clicking. And I know what it should look like. And especially in baseball, I know about things like, hip to shoulder separation, like here. I know what it's supposed to look like. But then I go do a bunch of drills to work on that specific thing, and it just isn't translating into the actual event. I'll do a drill and I'm like, oh, I feel like my hips are, driving my arm through. But then I'll throw and my elbow will hurt in the same spot, and I feel like I'm using mostly my elbow or my arm to throw, and it's not my my legs, sequencing everything up and like going through the legs to the hips, to the torso, and so on. It's kind of tough when just a week ago, I felt myself. So the first week I threw the ball 187 feet. And so I figured that's close to 65 miles an hour or 66 miles an hour, which is what I threw in the batting cages. And then the next week I threw a ball 20 feet farther, and I thought, okay, that's great. I must be doing something right. And this week, after doing, half a dozen drills, like every single day, I'm working on some drill to try and figure out how to like improve my mechanics to throw the ball farther. And I'm increasing my strength week over week. So 2 weeks from when I started, my strength has gone up, and I've done drills every single day. And so the last 7 days I did a bunch of different drills, and yet I threw the exact same distance. And it felt just as effortful. And it's a bit demoralizing. It sucks when, not that I'm entitled to do well, but when I did my 30 poker hours of studying in 30 days challenge, I was finding things on a pretty regular basis that I could work on, and I could come up with a strategy and then go play some games and then fine tune that strategy as I went to see how to improve more. And when you're getting actual feedback daily, when you actually are going, okay, look, I'm winning more than I've ever won. I'm avoiding losing certain spots that I've probably been losing for maybe forever. You have all of this historical data that you can point to and say, look at all these areas that are improving. And for some reason, I've made, 150 YouTube videos maybe, and once in a while I seem to make something that clicks and that people resonate with and like. And my baseball channel, I've probably had a dozen or 24 people that have said like, wow, this channel is going to blow up, or I can't believe this channel hasn't blown up, or I can't believe this video hasn't gotten more views. But then that video will have 100 views in like a month. And I just don't get it. And it's really hard not to get discouraged by all this stuff. But there's one thing about me that keeps me going with all of this kind of thing, and it's that I will never quit. I will never quit. So I don't care if it takes 100 more throwing drills. I don't care if it takes 1,000 more YouTube videos, and if I have to find, way outside of the box things to kind of, get things going. I might have to hire a baseball coach. I might have to somehow find like a YouTube coach, or maybe take some kind of videography class or something. The thing is, there is not going to be an end to these things that doesn't result in me succeeding at them. When I say my goal is to hit 90 miles an hour, that's a goal that I'm either going to get, I'm either going to do it, or I'm going to find out physically what my limit is. Maybe my limit is 85 or 84 or 80, but I'm going to find that out through effort, iterating, using the same things, using the same tactics that have gotten me to where I am right now. Anyways, that's all I know for this week, is I'm going to keep testing until I figure out something that breaks through. I'll catch you guys later.